So this is bass sheet 2. First of all, I'll just play through all the songs and then I'll go through them one at a time slowly. So for starters, we've got Canon in D by Johann Pachelbel, also known as Pachelbel's Canon. Next we've got Back in Black by AC/DC. Then we've got Song 2 by Blur. After that we've got Under Pressure by Queen and David Bowie, or it's also used in Ice Ice Baby by Vanilla Ice. Next we've got Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes. Now this has 12 repeats of the first 2 bars, but I'll just do 2. Okay, and then lastly we've got You Shook Me All Night Long by AC/DC. Okay, great. So let's start off by going through Pachelbel's Canon. Now this is a really easy one to remember because it's kind of the same thing throughout, in that you play the same fret for every 2 notes. You just start off on the G and then you go down to the D strings, that is. So you start up on the 7th fret on the very thinnest string, the G, you go, and then on the same fret, 7th fret, go down to the D. Now, you do this on the 4th fret as well, so start off on the thinnest string and then move down to the 2nd thinnest string, the D. The next 2 notes are actually just the 2 open G and open D. So and then we've got open G and then the A on the 2nd fret of the G. Okay, so you may have noticed that I actually stopped that note from ringing out. Now this is really important when you're playing open strings on the bass guitar, because if I played those 2 notes, when you hear them both ringing at the same time, it's not really a pleasant kind of sound. If you mute one and then play the other, it's a really distinct, sort of defined sound, not really this kind of muddy sound. I'll show you what the difference is just with that last bar. So if I didn't mute it, it would sound like this. Now I'm going to try and mute those open strings after I play them. And you mute them by just that first one actually. You just press down lightly, just touching the string actually, to block off the sound. And you do the same with that one. You don't need to mute that one because you're playing 2 notes on the same string. Another way that you can mute that D is just by playing the G with this finger resting your finger on the D string, which will block off the sound. So say if I played this note, then I play the G. Hear how it blocks them off, or blocks off the D. Okay, moving on. Back in Black by AC/DC. So we've got open E, and then up on the 5th fret, on the A string, which is a D. And you just do the same thing, except on the E string, 5th fret. So you do that twice. Sorry, open E. Do the same thing again. Now this part, there's two different ways that you can play this, and it all depends on what you find more comfortable. If you find playing on the same string more comfortable, then this is a better way for you to do it. So you're going to start off on the 7th fret on the B, there, and then go down to 4th fret, back to 7, 5, 7, 6, 7, 7. So now the other way to do it, if you're finding that this stretch is a little bit too much, you can go start off on that 2nd fret, which is actually the same note as another B. So you go 2nd fret, the B on the A string, then you go to that G sharp on the thickest string, you go back to the B, open A, back to the B, A sharp, and then 2 Bs. So this is better for people who find that stretch, because you only need to stretch, find that stretch difficult, because you only need to stretch 2 frets. Sound the same? Okay. Next we've got Song 2 by Blur. Now this one's pretty much all quavers and or crotchets. So we've got on the 3rd fret here, D string, which is the 2nd thinnest string. Then we go down to the 1st fret, which is D sharp, G sharp, and then we go to the A sharp, and then C. So 3rd fret, pretty straightforward. Okay. Under Pressure. So this is all on the same fret. It's on the 7th fret. You play the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 notes on that 7th fret on the G string, and then go to 1 note on the D string. Second time around, you actually play 7 notes on that, the thinnest string. So it's pretty much the same thing. Each bar, you just got to remember that pickup. Okay, so this is all T's or tickers. So I've got T, 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 ticka, T, 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 ticka, T, T. Alright. That one's going to be good for people who are really good with their right hand, but sort of struggle with their left hand a little bit, because you don't really need to move around a lot here, but it's kind of challenging with this hand. Okay, now we've got Seven Nation Army. Again, if you're going to play an open string and you want to mute it, now this one's a little bit easier to mute because you're starting off on the 2nd fret, doing 2 notes, 2 E's, then we've got an open G. Now, you don't really have to think too much about muting this one, because as soon as you get back to putting your finger on the E again, the flesh of the underside of your index finger actually blocks off that open G. See, I'll show you what I mean. Now, if I let that ring, it would sound more like this. Not as good. Okay. Now, all these notes are pretty easy. There's no sharps or flats or anything like that. So I'll let you nut it out. The next part is just 8 quavers of G and then 8 quavers of A. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. The next part is the same as the start, except, well, this part is. Now the part after that is almost exactly the same, with the addition of 2 more notes. So it's the same up until you get to the, or just after the C. So we've got E, E, G, E, D, C. Then you've got to go back and play the D and the C again before arriving at the B. So the 2 differences. D, C, B. Okay. Finally, we've got You Shook Me All Night Long. Now this one's pretty straightforward. Again, no sharps or flats. And yeah, so we've got 2 G's to start off with. A, B, C, B, D, D, A, B, C, C. It's pretty much all of it is either open notes, so yeah, be careful of those open strings to make sure you mute them. And it's pretty much all in these 2 frets. So I think that's pretty straightforward. Okay, thanks for watching.